Gyrocopter!
All right, hello everyone. We are back with the English coverage of the WCA 2016. This is going to be the game number 2 of MVP Phoenix versus TNC. We have an all-pick remake here after a long-awaited draft, and we're going to get back into the action. Once again, I'm going to be your caster, Annie, aka Android, and I am being joined by Sindar. So, final thoughts about these drafts before we finally get back into the game.
Yeah, the one thing that we really get a chance to talk about because of all the audio issues is this Winter Wyvern lap pick from TNC. And I actually really like it here because the Cold Embrace does protect against physical damage, and if you look at the Radiant side, MVP have almost nothing but physical damage. So if the Ancient Apparition's Ice Blast is already used, then whoever gets Cold Embraced is saved every single time, guaranteed. And that could be really, really irritating for MVP.
All right, so we are finally getting on into it. Hopefully no more lag issues, and good luck, have fun. It comes out, because again, this is game number 2, so hopefully it looks like TNC looking to take a clean 2-0 sweep. MVP looking to give them a run for their money once again. You talked about earlier how MVP is such a feast or famine team. They either do unbelievably well or they just never quite come online. In game 1, unfortunately, they definitely had a bit of a struggle, but game 2, they're looking to bring the action here. As we go around, we can go ahead and introduce the teams. On the side of the Radiant, we have MVP Phoenix. It's going to be MP playing up that carry Wraith King Dubu, supporting on the Witch Doctor QO. We'll be on the mid Death Prophet. Down here, we are going to have Forev on the Axe. And who did I miss? Ancient Apparition played by Febby up in this top lane. How is TNC looking?
Well, we've got AU on the Bounty Hunter scouting out perfectly this early movement from MVP. There will be Teehee going mid on Alchemist once again. Cuckoo supporting him on the Winter Wyvern. That leaves Raven on the Gyrocopter safe lane. And finally, MH on the Doom heading to the off lane eventually.
All right, everyone's still holding on to those skill points. Looks like it will be a cleaner rune engage here, just going for a 1-1 split. No more 3 kills before the horn happening like last time, so definitely calm it down. Alk, this game, does opt to skill the Greevil's Greed, so he gets a little bit more out of that bounty rune. He's going to be sitting pretty happy here. Teehee, can he have a repeat performance on this Alk, or was that not necessarily a fluke, but a lucky game 1?
It's going to be a lot harder for him this game. He's against the Death Prophet, who is a much stronger laner than Medusa. Also, he does not have the Lich as a backup anymore. So last game, a lot of success in the lane was thanks to that denying power of the Lich. And he's going to have AU on the Bounty Hunter roaming around trying to give Death Prophet problems. But with the Soul Siphon, it's going to require a little more than that to bring her down. It goes for a really early point in Unstable Concoctions. So should be a little bit better for QO this time, hopefully. I mean, it's to be like a 1-11-8 game, so QO can definitely step things up a little bit here.
Yeah, she'll be trying here. She's going to be leveling up that Soul Siphon first. I'm not going to go for the Crypt Swarm. Those 2 levels are pretty much picked up at 1 and 2 interchangeably. Not a huge shakeup. She's going to go try to get some damage onto Teehee, because again, this Alchemist does have to be harassed as much as possible before he goes into that Chemical Ragey form. And, well, something different is that this team has a way to deal with it now. They've got the Ancient Apparition, going to be a great tool as soon as he finds his level 6. So I wouldn't be surprised to see AA go for a Midas to rush that level 6 out a little bit faster.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to comment on that we haven't really talked about yet is that both teams successfully read the of the others, and that have tried from MVP with P on the Wraith King, taking up farm here, but, well, TNC see it coming. They run the Gyrocopter into the off lane themselves, so both off will be getting free farm here. As AU, okay, that's a Dire Sentry, so he will be fine.
Yeah, he's going to be A-okay, and right now in mid lane, Teehee could actually be in trouble. Death Prophet actually holds on to the Crypt Swarm. I feel like that could have maybe almost finished off the Alchemist, but Kibo doesn't want to get too greedy. She learned her lesson last time. Going up against an Alk is some serious business, so she's going to sit back, play very, very passively, and just push out this lane, which is what Death Prophets do best. I think Alchemist may have to dip into the jungle earlier than he'd like, and Death Prophet will be able to secure a lot of damage on him consistently. Alk now picks up a salve, will be healing up, but split that's only going to keep him alive for so long. QO having a much more controlling fight early on.
Yeah, this is perfect for him. Teehee's already been forced to burn through 2 full tangos and 3 regular tangos and a salve. So he's going through the regen, and as a result, he's sitting behind on the last hits, only 4 compared to the Death Prop 8. Much
up
better
top,
start for QO.
Going to be a very aggressive Radiant offlane as they're going in. They've
Oh.
got that try ready to go. Mid
Mid
lane,
lane.
this is going to go down as Alchemist will be rotating back around. They're looking on to Death Prophet. Death Prophet, she's going to be sitting back, doesn't know anything's the wiser. Will be able to see out AU, and he is not even Shadow Walk. She has the Sentry if they need. Unstable Concoction goes through. Going to be burned down and just will end up being the first blood unless Tiki commits too deeply. AU actually getting way too close for comfort. May end up going down, but no, it will be Cuckoo getting the first blood. Will trade his own life for it as the ranged creep gets that one last hit taking out the dragon, but the first blood super valuable on the Death Prophet. QO starting things off just like last game, but hopefully won't fall too far down that path, not feeding away a huge bounty, not feeding away a ton of experience, and the respawn timer is very low. So going to be getting right back into lane, won't lose too much farm out of that, may actually be able to turn on to Teehee, but not going to be able to fully commit. Teehee now does have very low health, low mana, not a whole lot he can do about it, and now up top we do have Wraith King pushing in pretty deeply, so Radiant, they're not going to be feeling the burn too much from that early first blood.
Yeah, the fact that QO at least gets a turnaround from it, and sure, it's the first blood, but I mean, he ganked by 2 heroes, he was stunned from behind, he still almost lived. That 2 points in Soul Siphon, having 1 out on each of his almost saved him. Bounty Hunter almost went down as well, survived on a sliver of HP. QO, despite going down, excellent showing from him, and almost turns it around. If he'd gotten 2 kills, it would have been huge.
So up top, this tower taking some serious chip damage. Even Dubu's pesky little right clicks, 61 damage, are doing a lot. AU goes in, gets that backstab, but will take a Wraithfire Blast right to the face. Oh, Cuckoo just unloading here. Goes through, they will get the pick onto the Bounty Hunter, but now Dubu running for his life as Sam H is going to go with that Scorched Earth, trying to get a lot done, but Alchemist rotating through will be able to take out the Wraith King most likely. They're looking onto Dubu. Can they get the kill? No, Dubu is able to TP out. So Teehee with, not going to say a wasted rotation, but a rotation that doesn't buy him a whole lot except a little bit of free farming time in the lane. Now QO is going to be here as well, Invist up, not revealed as this is a Radiant Sentry Ward, but very aggressive rotations coming out. And now it looks like going back to mid will be AU, trying to soak up some much needed XP to get himself to that level 6 ASAP, and he's going to be picking up his level 3 on the back of his range creep.
Yeah, he needs it. He's sitting very far behind on as far as XP goes, and everyone is actually. I mean, you've got 6 here at level 3, 5 minutes in on duel. As the Doom actually sitting the lowest as far as XP goes, not something you see every day, but he's been harassed quite heavily in the top lane here. And it's down to the Ancient Apparition. Febby with that point up in Chilling Touch in a tri-lane that's always a terrifying scenario. And you've also got the Witch Doctor do with that point up in Voodoo Restoration. It makes this lane very scary for TNC.
Yeah, we'll have to see what comes out of it, because again, you mentioned it, this trial lane means a little bit less XP, but for now, Radiant are having the time of their lives pushing in, this tower getting slapped down. Usually you don't see a Wraith King lane perform this well early on. It usually takes Wraith King like 10-15 minutes of farming before he's able to find anything, but Tier 1 tower goes down here less than 6 minutes in, and that's a lane, or rather a team with a Death Prophet as well. She's now got her Exorcism, so this could be a very successful push down mid as well, coming out very soon. So it looks like Radiant will secure themselves a tower advantage sizably going into the mid game, but the later that Dire push this, I think the better off they are.
Yeah, and the other thing to note is that Forev is just crushing this Gyrocopter in lane. He's sitting at about 1k net worth above the Gyrocopter, which means that Gyrocopter is going to be nerfed, and Forev should have a pretty decently timed Blink Dagger. He's only about 700 gold off of it at the 6-minute mark, and against the dual lane, so he performed very well for himself. And once they've got that Blink Dagger online, things get very scary for TNC. A lot more farm, a lot more levels to really be effective on their cores.
We're going to have AU down bottom as this tower is still standing nice. Axe going and cutting the wave. We did have a rotation in from QO. Looks like he's going back towards the mid lane. Does have the Exorcism.
Bless you.
Alright, Exorcism awesome cast out. There's going to be a Soul Siphon chamberling up the Unstable Concoction. Huo might have to be forced back. Pops the Exorcisms from this. Won't have to wait for a decent amount of time as it is pushed back behind the tier 1. Meanwhile, up top, we are going to have Fareb maybe looking for a call here onto AU, but only 1 point in that call will not be so successful. Goes in for the Battle Hunger onto Cuckoo. Cuckoo does not have that Winter's Curse at the ready, but Doom, he's coming back through, can zone pretty effectively with that Infernal Blade and Scorched Earth, so it looks like Axe making his way towards the mid lane, maybe looking to go onto Tiki. Axe will end up taking that backstab from AU's Junata. He's going to go through, take a double damage rune. This is terrifying. The Axe with a DD rune, getting close to that Blink Dagger. He's sitting here cleaning up the creeps. AU keeping vision on him, but meanwhile, mid lane, Death Prophet's Exorcism does run out. The push has to stop for now, and Axe gonna be in some trouble. Goes for the call, will not connect on anything. Battle Hunger destroying AU, and QO could go through with a nice Spirit Siphon, and the Crypt Swarm might be able to get something off of this. Looks like there's gonna be a little bit more time, but no, Winter Wyvern helping him out with that Cold Embrace will keep AU alive. One more Death, or Crypt Swarm rather, could have gotten the kill, but she doesn't know where to aim it, as he does go into that Shadow Walk, and no one has vision just yet. Gyrocopter uptime did use that call down and secured the kill on the Ancient Apparition. Not a huge loss at this point in the game. Obviously, it does set him back a little bit in terms of, I believe that's the Midas he's probably going for, and his level 6, but he's still going to be A-okay. Short respawn time or just hop back into lane.
Yeah, and I mean, the value that Flip got out of that play on the Axe in the bot lane, he jumps behind the tower, forces out the rotation from the Doom, the tower still goes the way of the Radiant, he gets out, survives, gets money for the Blink Dagger, just wasting time. TNC heroes draw him around the map, and fuel the space to do whatever he wants in the mid lane, and now it's the Blink Dagger, and MP actually is at 2100. If he wants to go blink, which he can, the initiating power on the
I gotta cut you
lineup.
off here as Cuckoo gets culled down, just destroyed here. MP and Axe, such a sizable fighting duo. They're both big, beefy guys. Wraith is actually coming online pretty early on. He's going to be picking up most likely a Blink Dagger as well, unless he wants to go for like a Radiance or something crazy. Now AU will be scouted out by this Sentry Ward. They pop the death. They're going to get the kill. They go for the Spirit Siphon, and finally the Crypt Swarm finishes them off. So QO 1-1-1. Very different performance than last game, and they do not have the Exorcism up. Needs a little bit more mana for that. Death Prophet can drink up the bottle. They're going to go for the tier 1 tower. Could even push tier 2 if they got nice and greedy. Now Tiki on the back lines looking to go through. Axe has that Blink Dagger at the ready. Could look for a Blink call, but that is a bit ambitious. Meanwhile, the tower does end up falling. Death Prophet getting back. They could end up pushing out bot lane now as well. It feels like MVP are having a very successful early game, and Ancient Apparition getting close to that level 5, meaning a close level 6 as well.
Yeah, an immediate smoke MVP. Want to capitalize on this advantage. They've got Exorcism online. They can find a good initiation with a call from Axe. This could be a massive fight.
Oh, there they go. They're going in. They get out 2 with the call. This is absolutely awesome for MVP. Getting a double kill. They take out the Gyro. They take out the Wyvern. Wyvern means no ambulance for the rest of the team, so they can continue to push this. Overall, really awesome fight. Almost 700 gold going the way of MVP. And again, we're not even 10 minutes in the game yet. Exorcism popped out for the tier 2 tower. This is MVP performing on the backlines. We do have MP maybe going a little bit deep, but brings in Fareb. They're looking for the kill on the Bounty Hunter, but he won't reveal just yet. So it's going to be a little bit of a back off here as they wait for the second creep wave to come through onto the tower. Dubu's sitting up nice and aggressive. Fareb is sitting there with another Blink call at the ready. AU will walk under the center board eventually. Now he's going to back off, won't reveal. And so Radiant, they get what they wanted. They got kills, they got the core, they got a tower, and looks like they could get more here as Cuckoo comes in, doesn't have that level 6. QO goes in with a Soul Siphon, Death Swarm as well, and there's going to be a call down here, so Gyrocopter might be getting some kills off of this, but everyone from MVP is surviving for now. They're going to go in, they might not be able to get the Gyrocopter, they're going to cut Wraith's first life. He's going to come back, going to be going through, trying to run away here, does have 1 Wraith Fire Blast at the ready if he needs it. Tiki, meanwhile, is going to be sitting there, does have that Unstable Concoction ready to channel up in 1 second, could be going for that. Looks like they will let MP off with a warning. They do see AU underneath the Sentry Ward. Going to go in with Wraith Fire Blast on that, but they got to watch the Acid Spray. They got to watch the Unstable Concoction onto Tiki. Meanwhile, up top, we got a secondary chase going down as Dubu walking away from the Doom. 1 Infernal Blade could mean the death of the Witch Doctor, but not able to catch up to him just yet. AU coming back through from the sidelines. Not going to be able to go in onto MP just yet, as AU doesn't have that track. Only level 5.5 on the Gondar.
Yeah, as that was MP getting a little over-ambitious. They backed off, Exorcism down, but they tried to engage, and it was a beautiful call from the Axe, but unfortunately, it was on top of the top.
Oh, here we go. We do have Sam H getting kind of low, will be protected by QQ for now. Does have that cold embrace if they need to keep him safe, and may end up having to pop it. Now for Rev, could be in some trouble, takes an unstable concoction right to the face, will be running away, but takes a shuriken toss to the back. Now Dubu pops out of dust, but it may be the last thing he does as he is just flying solo. As everyone else focused here over in the top lane, but QO bit off more than he could chew, takes a full duration rocket barrage to the face, but now MP's here to save the day. There is going to be an unstable concoction, will connect onto the Wraith King, and now QO going to be in some more trouble as that's going to be a dead Wraith King. He already popped his ult in that last fight. QO running for her life, Ancient Apparition on the backlines, trying to run away. This is going to be a dead Death Prophet. Could be a 4-man wipe. Will come out as the rocket barrage comes through from Raven. 4 men for a Doom. Definitely not worth. And that's going to be the track goal starting to come out for the Bounty Hunter. I believe there was 1 track up in that fight as Bounty ticked over to level 6. So MVP, they definitely had the early game lead, but they got to be really, really careful what they give away.
Yeah, that was an absolutely huge error from TNC. At the beginning of the fight, Bounty Hunter was level 4.
Oh,
it
for
was
Rev.
Really
going back through. There's going to be a TP out from AU unless he gets a big bunch of helixes, not able to do anything about it. That Culling Blade is going to be a long cooldown if he doesn't get the kill, so it doesn't want to slap it out willy-nilly.
Yeah. And the fact that Bounty Hunter has found 6 now means the world to TNC. They're still lagging behind as far as net worth. Now that he's got that track online, they can start to try and take advantage of these trades where MVP may be getting 1 or 2 kills, but if they give up 1 or 2 exchange, all of a sudden the trade will all favor TNC.
There's going to be a smoke up here. We look at the overall XP. We're now back to touching 0. So after a very successful start from MVP, they may have given away just a little bit too much, and you never want to start an ALK on a spiral. So we'll see what's going to happen here as Death Prophet is still leading up the net worth chart, which is a good sign. Now Scan does reveal the smoke. Great ambitious play, or rather defensive play by TNC. They scouted that something's going on, but they do get the kill onto AU. There is going to be a Wraithfire Blast. They have the dust. So Bounty Hunter will be the trade unless they're going to go through call down from the Gyrocopter. Looking to turn this. It looks like everyone alive. Looks like the first Ice Blast will connect on the 2 focus supports, getting very low. Now Raven is in trouble as Envy is trying to slap away at him. Will end up going down here. Raven falls to the Crypt Home on the back line. Bloody fight all around. Tiki in that Chemical Rage, looking to get something more out of this. Will be running away, trying to armlet toggle for his life. He's going to go and get called up. May end up getting slapped out by the Culling Blade dunk. Doesn't go through just yet, not even needed, as the cast from the Witch Doctor secures the kill. So it will be a 2 for 5, or rather 2 for 4 exchange, favoring MVP pretty nicely. They will get more out of that as they do get the ALK and the Gyro, keeping the Axe and the Death Prophet alive.
Yes, and crucially, they did kill the Bounty Hunter first. So even though they did get 2 kills in the end, neither of them were track kills. And that's key for MVP. They can afford to take trades as long as Bounty Hunter is not giving his team gold. And the fact that the Cold Embrace was used on Bounty Hunter, oh, Sam H could in trouble here.
I mean, MP is just chipping away, but this Doom, he's super, super tanky. He's got the Scorched Earth, he's got 7 armor and almost 1500 HP. And at this point, Wraith King, he's doing some damage, has a decent KDA, but he's not necessarily online. He doesn't have a lot of solo kill potential. His team's kind of using him for a stun in a cam.
Yeah. And QO scouting at Raven. Let me go for this.
It's going to be an Ice Blast. Will it connect onto Tiki? It will. That's going to be pretty crucial here. He pops into Chemical Rage, but there's not a whole lot of healing he's going to be able to do as he is Ice Blasted up. It's only level 1. He tries to live, but Death Prophet goes through with the right click, securing the kill. That's going to be a great kill for QO. 40 seconds dead on the Alchemist. He's not able to farm up, and now ALK, 4th on the net worth chart here at 15 minutes in the game. He needs to start getting himself up. He needs to find that safe farm, or he will fall dramatically behind.
Exactly, and MVP are doing a great job of not letting him have that space to get back up. And now, far behind at this stage of the game, not what you want to see. He is a hero who can always come back. I mean, if you compare this to his performance last game, it's 15 minutes in. Last game, he had the Armlet as well as Radiant. This game, Armlet and 300 gold. It's not the same game, even the slightest.
Yeah, not even at all here. He's trying his best, but the Death Prophet effectively shut him down in lane. And now mid, we are going to see AU being really cheeky here. Went in for an initiation on the Axe, but wasn't able to finish it off with the Shuriken Toss and the Janata, but looking for QO here. Little do they know on the back lines, they do have Febby at the ready with that Ice Blast. Now there is going to be some sort of huge wad of heroes initiating onto QO. They're all going in. They all want this. Unstable Concoction comes through. QO is going to get doomed as well. There will be an Ice Blast coming through. Will it connect onto Tiki? It will get out Tiki as well as the Doom, but they do end up losing the Death Prophet first on the back lines. They may be able to find AU. There is going to be a dust revealing AU, and now Brev can go through with the Culling Blade. Will slap down. Cuckoo walks up onto the high ground, immediately turns his tail and run as Febby will go through. Nice call. There's going to be the Chilling Touch. saved from the AA. Not popping it out just yet. Now Farev will end up taking the Infernal Blade, getting kind of low from the back lines. Witch Doctor, oh, he's doing his little dance, but will be able to secure at least one kill. They do end up getting down the Witch Doctor. And okay, so MP, he's looking for a runaway here. There is going to be a short range unstable concoction, and there's going to be a net up from the Doom. Very nice there. Axe
the
call will end up saving the Wraith King for now. Axe gives his life, but saves his core. Definitely worthwhile. That fantastic play from the Axe, but they get the vision onto the Wraith King. Unfortunately, him walking back in the fight cost him his life, as Sam H is now on a double kill streak. He's got 4-1-0, and now AU going in onto Febby. Shuriken will bounce, will get the kill. And on the back line, they're going in for Kiwo once again, who has respawned, puts out the Exorcism, wants to go in onto Raven Cold, or rather, the Winter's Curse popped out just onto Kiwo to hold her in place, but will end up getting the kill on the Death Prophet. What a bloody fight. I feel like this fight recap doesn't capture everything that happened, but just from what it does capture, it's heavily in favor of TNC.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that MVP were ahead and lost that many heroes, a lot of them were trying as well. I mean, there were so many good plays and then bad plays in that engage. The beautiful call from Axe, saving the Wraith King at the last possible second, getting the ice once again. The fight lasted so long, there were 2 ice blasts. And it does favor TNC slightly in the end, but there's still some big kills going MVP's way.
Oh, Bounty Hunter getting cheeky here, knowing Axe has no vision. Maybe just going in with a call, not going to be successful unless Death Prophet. Oh, there's the call! Fantastic playing all around. Axe, you are a machine. As Ice Blast not even needed there, just to secure the icing on the cake, most literally.
Yeah, you can see why MVP love this hero. Axe, in the past month, their second picked hero. They just perform so well. Fits their playstyle so well. And interestingly enough, while we've got a skin, take a look at MP's items. It looks like he's going for a Blade Mail as well. So this is a very early game focused item build coming out from your cores from MVP. The Blade Mail on the Axe makes sense. The fact that the Wraith King is going for this really fighting kind of item and not progress into a late beast gives you some sense of what MVP want to do back 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Blade Mail and the Wraith King is going to be a nice stepping stone for him. It gives some decent stats. Like you said, Axe, it makes a lot of sense. Wraith King, much more situational, but I do agree with the situational pickup. He's going to be a frontliner, and using that second life to his advantage. Now, there will be a smoke up. It's going to be revealing by Farev. Goes in, gets the call onto TD. This is going to be huge. Oh, man, Witch Doctor spraying out the damage. Cold Embrace can only keep him alive for so long. This Ancient Apparition will get the kill. That's going to feel really nice for little old AA. Has not opted to go for a Midas, instead rushing the Arcane Boots. How is that going to affect Febby into the late game?
It will slow down his Axe doing a lot, but he doesn't really need the Axe game. I mean, the ult is only there to stop the regen. It's not really do a lot of damage and get kills. As long as he can cancel out the regen on the Alf, he's done his job.
Oh, Febby, unfortunately, will be killed by his own team. Called out for the gyro, going to be very successful. Doom onto Farev. Now Dubu takes a rocket barrage, will be going down. Farev following suit. MP with that blade mail, though, just laying in the damage. Sam H may end up going down to the Soul Siphon, but no, Kyo just wants to back up. They want to get out the gyrocopter to go for Yules on the Death Prophet. One more Crypt Swarm will finish off the gyro. So it is going to be a 3-for-1. Arguably, the gyro going down is important, but definitely not worth the life of your Axe and both your supports. So it's going to be a 1,500 gold swing in favor of TNC. Looking at the overall charts, that is going to put it pretty near 0. No team having a decisive lead just yet.
Yeah, and that's all the track factor. 4 tracks got off the fight, 3 of them ended up being kills. So Bounty Hunter proving his worth. 1 did to 6. He is getting so much gold for his team right now. And it's a team like MVP who always want to be running at you and taking it. Bounty Hunter can be a really good choice. If there's a lot of fights, there's a lot of tracks, and even if you get the kill advantage, you're not getting the gold advantage. The net worth is continuing to swing to the Dar's favor.
What do you think of the Bounty's choice to go for the Ether Lens first rather than, something like a Medallion or a Veil, or just keeping Arcane Boots?
I don't mind it. I mean, you often see Bounties go for the Arcane build, but because there's an Ancient Apparition on the field, he's betting that the mech won't really be effective, and so he's choosing to skip it. I have no problem with that. Aether Lens an interesting choice, though. Will enable him to get tracks off from farther away, but the range on that is already extreme. I think it's more for the Shuriken toss.
So this is going to be big.
The smoke
immediately revealed. Dubu in the trees. Okay, you got a Blinken from Farev. We'll take the aggro for now, but now Farev will get frozen up. There's going to be an AA blast only connecting onto the gyro. Dubu in some serious trouble. May end up being the sacrificial lamb. The rest of his team alive enough. Rev wants to re-engage, has the call at the ready. Winter Weapon is able to get the kill on the Death Prophet on the back lines. Now Rev goes for the call but won't live through it. Empty is in trouble as well. Oh, this is going to be a massacre. So far, TNC have lost nothing. There's going to be Wraith King's second life coming back through. This could be a wipe. In fact, it will be a wipe. Teehee stuns himself, but Ancient Apparition, the only survivor, just booking it out of that engage. And God, what is happening to MVP right now?
Well, they took a fight without Exorcism, one, and they took the fight in an incredibly disadvantageous position. They thought they were going to sneak in and hide in the trees and catch TNC coming out, but TN spots them in time. They get some really good positioning advantage. Oh, huge Ice Blast, though.
They get the kill on the Alk, which is like tanked out. I think that's a chorus of victory for the Radiant, as that was just a really nice Roshan snipe. Alchemist, he's going to face that problem over and over again. He doesn't have his chemical rage again when he is underneath that Ice Blast, and the armlet was not able to give him enough bonus HP. And now Roshan will be going down. It's very, very slow, as everyone did take some serious damage from the Ice Blast. Raven may be able to secure the Aegis for himself after all, but that Roshan took well over a minute. Now in the backlines, Radiant are looking to fight. There will be a track up onto the Wraith King. Doesn't want to blink too aggressively. Now QO on the high ground. She's very, very far up, but won't be punished for now, as TNC want to make sure they back off without any casualties aside from the Alk.
Yeah, and MP, they've really got to tighten things up now. And if you look at net worth, Death Prophet is still out top, but her cores have fallen behind. And Wraith King, this is not a hero who farms very quickly. You need to keep him keeping up with the rest of the heroes. If he falls behind, he's probably going to stay behind. And this is a problem. He needs to be the real late game carry, because Death needs that frontliner to sit behind. Without it, she is incredibly vulnerable to the damage of this team.
I completely agree there. We've got Axe, who did do a very nice job with those initiations in the laning phase, but he called it out. Wraith King needs to be that big, beefy guy, and so far, with those 4 deaths, and I mean, with the reincarnation, that's more like 7 deaths, he really needs to be a bit more cautious, maybe going for a bit more sustainability rather than damage. So I like the blade mail pick, but it comes at the cost of having an early armlet, and that has been not the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's an item against all this AoE damage, like the Scorched Earth, the Acid Spray, and the Gyro damage. All really great to have a mill with, but fortunately, he hasn't been able to find anything else off the back of it just yet. When he does, it'll be cute. But until then, he is struggling to have relevance in these fights. And his ultimate, he's always the last one alive. So the fact that he has a second life doesn't matter.
Oh, they're going through. They will get the Wraithfire Blast onto Sam H. The Doom may end up being his first death. They want to keep him stun locked so no one ends up taking the Doom. And from the backlines, the Spirit Siphon might do enough. Doom pops into the Blade Mail form. There's going to be Witch Doctor popping out the ulti just to secure the kill onto big old Doom. And they will be successful. Yules comes out onto the Gyro. They want to look for more here. Breath goes for the call, but it might be more than he can chew, as AU will get low from the Spirit Siphon, but looks like Raven is still going to be alive and fighting. The missile will connect onto the Death Prophet eventually, but for now, MVP haven't lost anything major. They drop a couple ultis, they drop the AA blast, they drop the Witch Doctor Death Ward, but everyone is still alive. The Doom is down. He died with his ult intact, which is another big victory for MVP.
Yeah. And Kyo has Exorcism, so they can still go for this tower off the back of this. They need to heal up a little bit, but they do have Witch Doctor with that level 4 Voodoo Restoration. Has not touched the Maledict, and I think that's the right choice this game. His team is really bad.
Alright, so there's going to be a full smoke up as the Dire are looking to re-engage here. TNC, where's their jump point? Do they start with the track? They are going to start with an unstable concoction going through onto MP. Fantastic there. He does get into his blade mail form. There is going to be a nice call preventing the gyrocopter from going deeper. Call down on the backlines will just destroy the supports. Duo getting that health back with the Soul Siphon wants to go in. One final Crypt Swarm will not be enough to get down the Bounty Hunter, and there will be an Aegis popped on the side of the gyrocopter. They're looking for more. They will go in. There's going to be a stun here onto QO. QO, you'll see yourself up for dear life, as the Soul Siphon might be enough. They do get down the Alchemist for a second time. That's huge now as Raven. He's taking a lot of damage from the Exorcism. He will get healed up by Ambulance Q, but goes down eventually. Double kill for Cuckoo going back through. They want to find the Winter Wyvern as well. The tower is so low. That's going to be a huge pick if they get it. The Winter Wyvern cannot stand up to damage. Triple kill from QO. Everyone's still alive aside from the Wraith King. They're looking for the Doom. Doom will come out, or rather the Inferno Blade goes out onto Febby. The call comes through onto Bounty Hunter. Oh, this is detrimental. They get down the AA in exchange. QO, she's still fighting. She wants to go into Doom a second time. The Witch Doctor's still up. Dubu, with a fraction of his health, might be able to secure the kill here. They're going back in. Sam H will get the Inferno Blade onto Dubu. So Dubu may end up going down. No, he lives. It's going to be 10 health for the Witch Doctor. He's alive. Everyone's alive. The Creep's not able to finish off the Death Prophet as she goes back into her base with a similar amount of HP to the Witch Doctor. And it's just going to be Forev able to go through. We'll be able to pick up the tower as everyone on the Dire is still dead. MVP, what a crazy, long, intense fight for them, but it does end up favoring them incredibly well. They get objectives, they get kills, they get farm, and now Witch Doctor, he gets a gem.
Yeah, that was a 4K gold swing going MVP's way, and what a beautiful showing. QO and Forev just showing how long they've been working together. That act and the Death Prophet play, Exorcism rolling, QO moving perfectly, trusting his axe to call off and ensure that no one could focus him down.
Wraith King dies no ulti. That's a bit of a free pick for TNC. They're not really able to push off of the back of that, which, you know, arguably isn't the best, but getting Wraith King down, again, that is his 6th death of the game. It seems like over and over he's caught with pants down as he needs that reincarnate before he pushes up onto high ground.
Yeah, I'd really like to see them just try and give him some space to farm up the jungle. They don't need to be aggressive. Although they are probably just worried about the Alchemist, who has finally managed to find himself a Radiance. I mean, 27 minutes in, Armlet Radiance Alch, not really as scary as he was last game, but still, it's always that lingering threat in the back of your mind. He's getting bigger, he's getting bigger.
They're going through. They will be able to get the Cold Embrace, or rather the Winter's Curse onto QO, just holding her in place, using it as a stun for now. It's an inexpensive stun. And QO, she's back, she's fighting. This is going to be a full duration fall down from the Gyrocopter, catching out Forev and QO on the backlash. Stevi does already drop his ulti, so doesn't have that. There's going to be a Doom cast out, but it looks like AU, he's taken to the best of this with QO is on a dominating streak. QO will end up going down. No, the Soul Siphon keeps her alive. They turn onto Doom, they get the kill. QO is a maniac here. They're looking for Teehee as well. He doesn't have the unstable, or rather the chemical rage for another 8 seconds. They're going back through. Forev is off the mark with the call to QO. She's got that Soul Siphon at the ready. Blink in, stun from the Wraith King. That's going to be a dunk for Forev. This could be a tap out for TNC right now. MVP, they've hit their stride. They had a little bit of a stumble in the end of the laning phase, but they're back now. QO will heal full health as Exorcism expires. She's going to be able to go in, get some serious damage onto this tower, and this is really starting to look good for MVP. They lost a lot of experience, a lot of gold around that 21-minute mark, but it's right back to 0 in terms of gold. XP almost 8,000 in favor of MVP.
Yeah, and this is all down to, you see the difference when MVP fight around the Exorcism. That one fight they lost, Exorcism was down. Now they have it up. They win 2 fights in a row with it, and in masterful fashion as well. These are not close fights. Playing them, Dubu got off a full duration level 2 Death Ward in that engagement. And the damp pumping, the control of the axe, it's just wonderful to see.
Alright, so there's going to be a group up. I don't know if anyone has a smoke. Looks like support's not carrying it. Everyone, you know, they can just kind of blink in and go for it. But nice scan from the Dire will reveal all the Radiant heroes in a big wad. And I don't think TNC want to fight. We did talk earlier in the draft about how if Bounty Hunters can find to his base, it becomes a monumentally harder game for TNC. And unfortunately, that's what's happening, as all the exterior towers are now down.
Yeah, Alchemist sitting at only 1,100 net worth. This is your who really needs to be ahead by a few K gold to be really effective, and he's behind by a few K instead. So, and the fact that all the outer towers down means it's going to be really hard for him to find farming space. And even if he does find farming space, the Doom Gyrocopter will not be. And Gyrocopter needs it just as badly as the Alpha does to be effective. He's sitting on only a Helmet Dominator Dragonlance. His damage is not significant at all.
Yeah, this is such a different game. Last game at this time, we saw Alchemist almost quadrupling up the net worth of the person behind him, and this time he's sitting at that 3rd spot. And, you know, he's got his Radiance and his Armlet, but certainly not that zoning presence that we know and love. And, you know, the Radiance combined with the Scorched Earth, combined with the Acid Spray, should be a decent high ground hold for a little bit, but QO with the Exorcism can just rip through towers. She's going to get called up, or rather tracked up. Now Doom will go through. Nice Yule, breaking the Doom animation. Now there will be a Winter's Curse, or, yes, that's going to be, okay, what's happening here? There's so much damage, everything's spraying out. The call down will get MP quite low. He will end up taking the unstable concoction to the face. He gets tracked up. There will be a nice Witch Doctor ulti from the low ground here. Teehee trapped in it. He's getting stuck in it. This is going to be huge. If Teehee goes down once again, he will fall. He immediately buys back. AU getting low as well. May end up living through this. There will be Forev. He's still doomed up, but still relatively healthy. MP, he's getting kind of low here, standing in that Acid Spray. Has to watch himself. Has that reincarnate. If things go sour, he will use the reincarnate. reincarnate. The Death Prophet's exorcism ends, and I think MVP may have to back off. They lost their Witch Doctor. They kept everyone else alive for the most part. So, I mean, it wasn't an ultra successful fight for MVP, but they did force the Alk buyback. They got down to tier 3, and they can just reset and do it all again when the exorcism's back up.
Yeah, the fact that the Alchemist forced buyback is absolutely huge. He sitting on still just that Armlet Radiance, another 200 gold in his pocket, unless something's flying out on the courier. No, it's just sent. So he is monumentally poor at this stage. I mean, this is the kind of farm you expect to see on an Alk at 15 minutes, not 30.
Okay, blink in from Axe. This guy is a maniac. Just going in, trying to be a huge presence. There will be an Ice Blast, will not connect. And now it looks like Forev might be in a bit of trouble. He has a Lotus Orb on himself. Duels up onto Febby. Febby may have to pay the ultimate price, but Forev, once again, going in, zoning, will be able to pick up a dominating streak, but will feed it right back to the Doom for 600 gold. So a little bit of a back and forth trade there. It overall will very, very heavily favor TNC. So maybe MVP just going a little bit too YOLO on that one.
Yeah, I mean, them taking the fight there, Death Prophet was on the other side of the map. I'm not sure what the plan was. Maybe just trying to be annoying and scare them, but it doesn't work out.
Maybe catch it well here. Yeah, it's going to take a Wraith Fire Blast in that Chemical Rage form, trying to regen, but no such luck. Wraith King goes in, gets a relatively easy pick. Now he has that Maelstrom, so he'll be able to push the wave incredibly easy as well. That was a very big pick. Over 600 gold just for the Alchemist. And now again, looking at the overall net worth and XP charts, it is looking very good for MVP, but they need to get in and do as much damage as possible while they still are riding this advantage.
Such a bad luck for MVP as they do find AU, but they would have rather found the Roche. It does spawn now, but a little bit too late for the Exorcism.
Oh, the pit.
Exorcism drop just for the out kill. It's worth it, but QO would have liked to have found a little more off of that.
Now there's going to be a full smoke. A couple of them take a nice blast, but no one really knows it. Oh, QO just diving into a world of hurt, gets doomed up, gets Winter's cursed up, gets... Okay, this is just tossing out all the ultimates for her. They will get down the Death Prophet. It cost them 3 ultimates, and now it looks like Doom is going to go and get the Infernal Blade onto Doom, but that's a track kill going the way of the Doom. Killing spree for him, and that is a little bit of comeback gold for TNC. So MVP, they gotta watch themselves. They're gonna be focusing on farming, looking for a counter jump here. Do they find out the Bounty Hunter? The gem is no longer on the Witch Doctor, I don't believe, as they did end up losing it in that last engage. Now Doom will be going through. Febby, another Infernal Blade, is gonna get massacred up. Now it looks like Febby will end up going down for Rev. He might be next on the menu here as Raven will go in, pops into a BKB form, goes in with that Battle Hunger onto the Bounty, zoning him back. For Rev will end up living in this engage, but they turn their attention to MP, who he can't decide if he wants to go in or out. There's going to be another call back in. For Rev will not find any targets on the back of that. So MVP a little bit unclear on if they're initiating, if they're running. MP takes a big duration on the call down. He does have that reincarnate, but has to be very careful as Doom with another Infernal Blade could end his life. Blink in, call from the Axe will be off the mark, not catching out AU. So right now, MVP, they're scrambling. They want to find something. Looks like the Roshan will be the pick as they do have that Exorcism low cooldown courtesy of the Octarine core. But rotation back into the pit from AU may end up revealing this.
Yeah, it did look a little sloppy from MVP hanging around with 2 of their heroes down, but they really wanted to make sure they could secure the Aegis. Even buying back QO to get him into the area, not TNC control of the pit, and as a result, they beat the Aegis.
Bounty Hunter goes through. He's just going to be sitting there, wondering exactly what to do. Going back for that invis, it looks like maybe he was ready for a counter initiate from TNC at the pit, but well, he's just sitting there, making sure no one dropped any goodies. And we'll be rotating back into lane. Could end up going for a little pick onto Forev. But Forev at this point, you know, Axe doesn't carry super hard into the late game, but he's doing his damnedest. He's got that Vanguard, he's got the BKB, which has already saved his life once.
Oh, sorry. Just reconnecting in there.
Alright, so Febby will be going through. The courier does die, nothing on it, as Sam H goes in on the aggro. Will try to TP out. Will he get away successfully? Looks like he gets back to base. He's going to be healing himself back up, so great play by him. Able to TP back through. Now TNC, Teehee, down bottom, is going to go for some more farm. Finally finds a bit of gold to himself, but he's still sitting pretty heavily second on the net worth chart behind the Death Prophet. Death Prophet will eventually fall off. Gyrocopter could replace her as the net worth leader, so could the Alk. And Gyro has that BKB at the ready once again, but the pure damage coming out from the Radiant is just absurd here. You've got the Ice Blast coming back through. That pierces spell immunity. You've also got the Witch Doctor's physical damage ultimate. You've got the Death Prophet's physical damage ultimate as well. And now she's going to be going through, trying to find something here, just kind of a reset. Again, here at 36 minutes in the game, the gold is slightly in favor of the Dire once again after those track kills started spiraling out. And the XP beyond close here. One experience, or one wipe, a couple good pickoffs could turn this in either favor.
Yeah, and MVP just have to tighten things up a little bit. They're giving up one too many kills. That one engagement where QO and Dubu fell, when QO got caught out with those 3 ultimates, that was a 3k gold swing for just those 2 heroes. So that is the only way that TNC get themselves back into this game, is if MVP play greedy, feed a couple of unnecessary kills, and they can still lose this game. They're going to try and avoid that by going onto high ground with the Exorcism, Aegis Online duo, so they can feel pretty safe with this.
The Fortify will be spent out. They're trying to wait out the Exorcism, and it's still going to be going on for a decently long time. QO may be able to take out this range Drax, but may not be free. As you can see, the Dire, they're looking for their jump point. They want to find the initiation. They do have the Winter's Curse. They might be trying to cast it out, but nice job from MVP, not sticking too close together. They don't want to have to turn on each other, so they go in, get a completely free set of racks. They've still got the Aegis on the DP. They're looking to go for mid here, going to be cutting the wave with that DP, and TP back from the Wraith King needs more reliable farm for him. So overall, MVP, they're finding more out of the map, but you called it. They can still lose this game.
Yeah, that was a really nice disengage from them. Don't cut out. They get everyone out, entertain their racks. TNC were hoping that they could catch someone out as they were leaving, but no such luck. MVP moved out really carefully. And with the free lane of racks, things all of a sudden in a really great for them. The QO on this Death Prophet has another 2k gold to spend as age expires. Can maybe go for a heart. Love to see that here for him. He's already got the armor from the Shiva's Guard. So just needs to tank up as much as possible. Survive while that Exorcism's rolling. Can potentially go for a refresher as well.
So QO, he's got that Lotus on himself, maybe looking to Winter's Curse up the Wyvern as well, but looks like it will just be some free damage on tower. NP has no problem tanking this up. Unstable Concoction will go on to him. Death Prophet out of range to go in for that Winter's Curse. So MP not taking a whole big bunch of damage. Crimson Guard now coming out. That's going to feel real nice and juicy as the axe pops that up for his teammates. Now QO just going back in. Teehee, he might get low here. He's going to get wasted. Looks like he buys back immediately. NP may end up losing his first life. He's still got his second on the backlash. QO getting kind of low again. She still is sitting on the Aegis. He's healing up from the end of the Exorcism, and she's trying to back out. On the backline, Farev goes in, double man call. He's only so big, though. We are 30 minutes in the game, and the Axe can only do so much. Farev goes in, another Battle Hunger, another Crypt Swarm onto the Doom. May end up spelling his death as Stamp Age. May end up going down. One more Culling Blade will do the trick. Now, Teehee, this is buyback, remember. Alk cannot go down, or this might be GG. Alk falls, die back on him. This may be it, although Farev dropping very, very low. They're able to get the kill onto the Axe, so it's going to be a 3 for a dieback, and now TP out from everyone else. QO takes an Infernal Blade, and is going to be using that Shiva's Guard to get that slow. She's flying fast, she's got the face boots, but another one out from the Doom. He's trying to go through. QO grabs a rune on the way back, but the Shuriken toss from the Bounty will force the Aegis, and I do believe that's going to be a second death for the Death Prophet, and she has no real tools to escape. Yeah, she gets doomed up, she gets rocket barraged out, she will end up going down, she drops the gem. So let's look at what happened in that fight. They lose the Death Prophet, they lose the Wraith King's 2 lives, they lose the Axe, but they force a buyback from the Alchemist, rather a dieback from the Alchemist, and they do end up securing a lane and a half of Rax.
Yeah, that was more than just the Alch buying back as well. The Winter Wyvern and Doom also spent it. So even though they do get 4 heroes on the way out, they still lost their tier 3, and it was an incredibly expensive defense. If MVP group up and go for that again, those buybacks won't be available. The fight goes very differently in that case. And I believe that'll be the plan from MVP. Grouping up in the lane, trying to finish what they started with that initial push.
Yeah, if we look at the overall gold, this is a unbelievably back and forth game. The gold has barely tipped more than 5,000 in favor of either team, and at 40 minutes in a game with a Gyro, an Alka, Wraith King, and a Death Prophet, it's getting kind of silly here. We're now approaching late game territory, and Alchemist is still having some troubles, but can a late game Wraith King outcarry an Alch and the Gyrocopter?
Absolutely. Late game Wraith King is, in my opinion, one of the scariest carries in the game. His big weakness is that he's very kiteable. If he can't stay on top of the hero, he can't do his damage, but they don't really have a whole lot to kite him. He's got a BKB, or will have one soon, in just a couple, maybe 20 gold, I think. And once he's got that out, his ability to stay on heroes and chunk them down is unparalleled. He'll be critting for basically Cuckoo's entire HP pool, and things really rough. The fact that he's managed to keep himself in this game, I was commenting earlier about how he was falling a little far behind, but he's managed to make his farm. He has cut the bleeding. He's only died once since his last big death. So he's keeping pace with the Gyro and the Alp, and that's really important for MVP.
Okay, here's going to be the jump here as Farev goes in, looks for the call. There is going to be a Lincoln's popped in now. Okay, Tiki just gets destroyed there, Axe. Gets an Impelling Blade. Now there is going to be a Doom onto Kyo. She's not able to get off her ultimate for now, but counter Doom onto Sam H. He ends up dooming himself, courtesy of the Lotus Orb, and Cuckoo ends up just getting slapped down. Raven, he's going through, he's doing his best onto Dubu. Dubu is still alive somehow as AU turns his attention onto the Witch Doctor, but will be able to do so. It costs him his life. Now Raven could end up going down as well. Gyro will be dead. That's going to be no buybacks. Anyone on the Dire has nothing they can do. This could be GG as well. There's going to be a second lane of Rax killed. It is going to be an ultra kill coming out for Axe. He somehow has held on to his lead. They're going straight for tier 4s. They're not messing around. Farev going back, zoning out the fountain, making sure no one's able to come back in. Now Gyro does have just enough gold for buyback now. We'll see if he wants to pop back into the fight or if he just lets his towers fall. It's going to be GG. They can't do anything against this lineup. The Exorcism up and flying. So it looks like this is going to go to a game 3, Sindar.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all. More great Dota coming out from both these squads. And this is exactly what we talked about earlier on. MVP, a team that can look great, they can look bad, but in this game they look great. And I think a much better laning stage. They had really nice supports to deal with Alchemist. I mean, that Alchemist looked like food this entire game. You wouldn't think it was even the same hero being played as what we saw last game. 12 deaths on him. The